Badassatron. Was that funny? No. Studio Series Bumblebee. Now, I was hesitant when I first heard that Keegan-Michael Key was going to play Bumblebee. Don't get me wrong, I love Key and Peele. The professor, the teacher getting the names wrong, all the football names, those are good sketches, but like, I wasn't sure if he would fit in Transformers. I was kind of expecting him to do that sort of Key and Peele humor throughout the movie. He didn't. Or if he did, I didn't notice it, but he turned out to be really good as Bumblebee. Like, did they even actually call him Bumblebee in the movie? Hey, a reason to go rewatch it. But it doesn't hurt that this is one of my favorite Bumblebee designs of all time. Mostly because I've never been a fan of G1 Bumblebee. That face just doesn't do it for me. That. This one, it's kind of normal. So it works. And I found out that Keegan-Michael Key is a massive Transformers fan as a kid, having like his favorite being Soundwave. So I was like, okay, he's cool. See, it's just kind of a normal guy face, not particularly stylized. It definitely looks like Bumblebee, like the helmet, the dirty yellow color. You know, it kind of looks like he has squinting eyes on his chest plate with the yellow color. I think I'm being told don't go there. I really like this toy. It's a very minimal backpack. Very minimal kibble at all. I don't consider the wheels kibble because that's where they are on the design in the movie. I guess the only gripe you could have is he's tiny, but he's supposed to be. He's Bumblebee. Here's Megatron. Here's Sentinel. He's solid. If people said this isn't even the best Bumblebee toy from Transformers 1, I disagree. I think it is, but this is the only one I have. So articulation-wise, head is on a ball joint. You can only look up that far and look down not that far. But he can rotate. His arms are ball jointed. They can go out that far. They can go all the way around. The elbow is on a swivel. That is not the elbow, that is the bicep. Why am I doing this? The bicep swivel. The elbow bends. The wrist doesn't really have much motion. It's a transformation joint. The waist swivel is fine. And do the transformation. He can do that. He can bend his spine. I wish he had an ab crunch, but that's too far out of the deluxe price point, really. But hips, ball jointed, good range. He's got a beautiful spread. It sits comfortably there. Thigh swivel. Knee bend. Stuff doesn't get in the way. He's got a very deep ankle pivot. And a sort of toe joint. You can move his heel as well, like out about that far. I don't know. I like him. I like him a lot. I like this toy a lot. So, accessories. He comes with almost everything you want him to come with. So he comes with this massive rifle that feels kind of generic, but that is what the gun looked like in the movie. It doesn't look oversized in his hand. It's just, he can kind of almost hold it with two hands. And it's got a dedicated butt port to peg into for not really storage. Technically storage, but it's he's trying to sheath a sword almost on his back sideways. It's at an angle that's better. And he has both of his arm what do you call them? Knife hands. He called them knife hands. And that was some of probably the best jokes in the movie, were just his relationship with Optimus. Like, it was so, I guess, authentic, because, like, I have knife hands. I can see that. Like, I can totally see two friends sort of taking the piss out of each other by saying that. Like, you don't want to give your friend a compliment when he does something good, so you just say, I can see that. And you can plug them into his hands. And they completely cover his hands. From the top, at least. You can't even remove the knife. They come separate in the package. But he's got his knife hands. You can also plug them into the backpack for storage mode. Or an homage to like a rocket pack with knives, because everything needs more knives. He wasn't a minor B-127. He, at the point we see him in the movie, he's basically been kicked all the way down to the lowest part. He's takes care of the trash. And let's face it, he's not mentally stable. He's been alone for God knows how long, and he's created fake people to talk to. Like, he just piled up trash and pretended it was a person. Mind you, that trash also had a MacGuffin the rest of the team needed. A map. And, like, he needs therapy. I guess. If he would actually go to therapy. Or maybe just going on the adventure and having people to talk to is enough therapy. Who knows? Although he did have one of my absolute favorite lines, whether it was unintentionally hilarious or intentionally, was, I get to live out my dream. I get to work for the government. Like, in this economy, who wants to do that? And he gave Shockwave not only his pretty much only dialogue in the movie, but still a really good joke when he said, when they did the scene where they were captured, why'd you put duct tape on his mouth? He wouldn't stop talking, even when he was unconscious, especially when he was unconscious. And then he rips the duct tape or whatever was off and just starts talking again. So it's everything for robot mode. I really like this robot mode. It looks good. I think it's well proportioned. It does everything you want. And there's a bit of play in the ball joint of the shoulder joint. So now we have to transform him. So, to transform him, let's... And also, bleh. But we'll start by rotating the head. Open up the arm. Sometimes done easier by folding in the rest of it and then rotate it around. Close it back up. Or sometimes I just forget which part of the arm opens up. And we'll just rotate them to the side. Open the back. Fold out that panel. Come to the chest and fold it all the way up while folding that piece in. And that's going to tab in right there. The arms are going to fold up and under to form the sides. Like that. The hips. Yep. I'm going to come up to line that piece up. The legs are going to tab together. The feet, fold in the heel spur, rotate, well, fold the foot down and then fold this all the way until that pegs into the shin. And then that side is going to, well, tab into the arm. And the arm also tabs in to the waist. Do the same thing. Make sure they're tabbed together properly when you do this. And make sure they also tab together at the feet. And everything will line up and be happy hunky-dory. Or I wish it would. There we go. There we have Bumblebee in his alt mode. And I really like this alt mode on screen. For some reason, like a Cybertronian stretch limo kept going through my head as I saw it. And honestly, this is as good as they could do, I think. There's a tiny bit of gap right there. But the overall profile, I think, looks as smooth as they could make it while still transforming into a fully articulated robot. I think there's that caveat there because there are ones that don't transform as much but pull off a supposedly cleaner vehicle mode. I don't know. I really liked this vehicle mode. It's different to any Bumblebee I can think of. Honestly, it feels like what the War for Cybertron video game Bumblebee tried to do. But this does it a lot smoother. Like, they've learned from that, and it's not so fiddly and covered in panels that are translucent plastic and are on these weird stems, and I don't know. It just looks good. Mind you, I think it's judging you. It rolls pretty well on these 4 tires. And you have weapon storage. It's basically the same. Let's call it an attack mode. You plug the knife hands up top, and you just plug the gun on the side, and there's your attack mode. But how would it do on the Nürburgring? Don't ask James May. Size comparison. Megatron. Sentinel Prime. So yeah, I am very happy with this Studio Series Bumblebee. You know, I pre-ordered this thing off EB Games, and it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But one day, in my local Transformers thread, I saw somebody post a picture of a Toys R Us that's closing, because even though we've still had them, they're closing. Bankruptcy, ain't that a bitch? But I noticed when I zoomed in, there was at least one Studio Series Bumblebee on the shelf. I'm like, I'm going there. Like the next day, I went there after work, and I'm like, do they still have Bumblebee? Did anybody snatch them up? And they had like 2 on the shelf. So I just had to grab the guy and cancel my pre-order, because looking at the pre-order, it's backed all the way to like the middle of July. I'm like, this thing was supposed to come out like March or April, and it's June. How is every other... Well, they're just not getting any stock. Like, they're just not being sent from the States, I guess. So, Toys R Us wins, even though everyone loses. Yeah. If you can find him, he's a worthwhile addition to your TF1 collection. Or your Bumblebee collection. Or he could be the only Bumblebee in your collection. He's that damn good, I think. And, damn it, I don't have a Key and Peele joke set up, other than the fact that they stole Dave Chappelle's show. I don't have any in that theme ready to go. Till next time, bye.